Marriage is tough enough, but these days we have social media to contend with. Ex-boyfriends on Facebook, old girlfriends on Twitter, and suddenly a flirty wall post turns into a dirty direct message. And then what? So I have to wonder, to friend or not to friend? How do you make sure your chatting isn't cheating? I'm Kristen Chase. I'm a blogger, a mom of 4, a mominatrix, and your host for the Kristen Chase Show. Hi, and welcome to the show. Today we're going to be talking about social media and your marriage. I'm so happy to welcome Andrea Surtash, relationship expert and author of Cheat on Your Husband with Your Husband. Hi, Andrea.
Hi.
I love that.
Thank you.
Now, I love social media. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, and it can be so great, but also it can be a really bad thing for relationships. Now, why is it such a big temptation for people?
Well, it's both tempting to log on constantly and never see your partner because it's so fun, but it's also a temptation in terms of the access you have to attractive people who are tweeting and Facebooking really interesting things. But let's be honest, most people present the best versions of themselves on these networks, so you're not always seeing the accurate picture.
Now, I find that like most people that I got on Facebook and I searched for my ex-boyfriends, and I know a lot of guys search for their old girlfriends. What makes that so appealing, even to married folks?
It's so appealing. I do the same thing. It's just we're curious people, and it's kind of fun to see what people are up to and
what they look like,
if who they're married to is as cute as you were, that kind of thing. But listen, I mean, we all do it. It's totally normal.
This can be so challenging to navigate, so I came up with my own list of do's and don'ts when it comes to social media and your relationship. First, do tweet and post as if your spouse is reading. Now, this is always a good way to do things, right, Andrea?
It's a good rule of thumb in general, a litmus test for any interaction you have with someone you might be tempted by is, would I be okay if my partner were in the room or read this? Would I be okay with him seeing it?
Next up, don't publicly tweet your spouse. That is annoying. Okay, why?
Is so annoying.
Why? But shouldn't you just interact? I mean, instead of picking up your phone and tweeting your spouse, can't you just put it away and interact with them in person?
Well, you absolutely should interact in person, but let me say this. Sometimes it's fantastic to use these tools to flirt with your partner the way you would if you were dating or cheating, actually, with someone. You would probably use text messages and social media to kind of flirt a little bit.
Spice it up.
So spice it up that way.
Okay. Don't think your partner can't see your private messages. Okay, if it's online, it's online. You wrote it and it's out there, and sure, there are passwords, but if you don't log out of a home computer or you don't log out of your phone, you can find them, right?
Absolutely. You just have to be mindful in general with these tools. Don't share anything you wouldn't want your spouse to see, period.
Yeah, or make sure you log out and clear your history.
Or log out.
Next, do unfriend someone if they keep trying to make flirty conversations online. So, you know, if someone is sending you stuff that is inappropriate or even posting things publicly that are inappropriate, isn't it time to say, okay, you need to get out of my Twitter feed?
I think the litmus test for that is to ask yourself if it feels really disrespectful, really uncomfortable. I mean, it's really hard to read people online because you're literally just reading them. You don't know necessarily if that was an outward kind of flirty proposition or if in fact he just likes your photo and is complimenting you and it really doesn't mean much. So use your gut for that.
Note to self, maybe I do need to be a little more careful about what I'm updating on Twitter and putting on Facebook, or I just need a better password. I want to say thank you to Andrea for joining us. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
And thanks for watching. Now tell me, how has social media affected your relationship? I want to hear all the gory details. Leave them here in the comments. And since you're on Facebook all the time anyway, like us, follow us on Twitter, but keep the dirty comments to yourself.